See how the acceleration out the corners. Nice. Woo! There's a lot of fun indeed. Yes, that's the VW Polo GTI. Facelifted version here with Thomas and Autogefühl. All the details, let's go. New headlamp design here with this dual signature and also the red stripe for the GTI, stronger lower part, and here also with honeycomb style then. Headlamps now come standard with the Matrix LED IQ light, otherwise an option for the Polo. The GTI gets it at standard. And you've also seen it, here the fog lamps in the lower end. The length is at 4.7 meters or 160 inches, and whereas a base Polo would even start with 14-inch wheels, here the GTI either 17 or optional 18-inch wheels. These are the optional 18-inch wheels, and then also with bigger brakes and red brake calipers, really cool. And the red GTI accentuation right here, and it especially works very well with the white exterior color, doesn't it? Black mirror caps and also tinted windows here in the rear. Overall a very cool sporty styling, isn't it? In the rear, tail lamps here, new design, horizontally stretched with this extended area. This gives more width to the vehicle. Then again, the red GTI logo and rear exhaust tips. So once again, clean, sporty, very consistent, like that. What about you? And this thing here goes 240 kilometers an hour or 150 miles per hour maximum speed. But of course, it would take time to reach that. We will try today on the German motorway on the Autobahn. Whereas the normal Polo only gets the 3-cylinder, 1-liter engine, here the GTI exclusively gets the 2-liter 4-cylinder, now with 207 horsepower, 7 horsepower more than before, and acceleration here goes from 6.7 to 6.5. Only available with the 7-speed dual clutch transmission. Door closing sound. Now from the Golf is definitely better. Not too good, right? Inside of the doors, this is hard pack. For a base Polo it would be okay, but then for the GTI at 30,000 euros, okay. But then again, they can't change it just for the GTI, that's the thing. Soft touch at least here for your elbow. And here we also have red accentuations. You do not have to go for this one, but of course, in a way, with the red accentuations on the outside, it's kind of a cool combination. And then also these special sport seats here for the Polo with the houndstooth in the middle part, Karo we would say in Germany, red contrast stitches here on the outside, and these sport seats also have more bolstering here and also in that shoulder part, especially here, look at that. So pretty cool. You can also get microfiber seats, but then they are actually a little bit straighter in this form, so it will also change the seat form. Seating position in these sport seats actually very decent, doesn't feel so small, and also good comfort also for tall people here with 1.86 meters, 6 with 1, still enough headroom left. And then 10.25 inch screen on the left side. This is standard for the GTI, otherwise an option. It's only flickering on camera, not for your real eye. Right side here, the 8-inch screen would be already standard. This still has knobs then, which is better to me, I think. Here, even for the GTI, an option, the 10.25 inch screen, it looks cooler, is a little bit wider, but missing the buttons here, only has hashtag capacitive BS buttons. Let's soon take a closer look. Here in the lower part, you have this new climate unit, and this looks cool and clean. And for a capacitive solution, it's also fairly easy to control, but I would prefer the normal manual one. Illuminated USB-C chargers in the lower part, also with inductive charging pad here, this is quite handy. Apple CarPlay and an auto wireless connection, and then the 7-speed DSG shifting lever here. Has a good grip, actually, cool styling, and then left next to it, you decide the driving modes. There's this, let's see, maybe this one. There's this optional Beats sound system in this one, and considering for a small vehicle, it's actually quite decent sound. So for music lovers, that Beats sound system will do fine. Yeah, considering the segment, of course. Then back to the Volkswagen menu. Let's take a look at the, at the own GPS like this. It's also somewhat okay. Here could be a little bit more responsive, but definitely it works better than the all-new systems in the all-new cars. And this is really important, the drive mode selection. This one does not have DCC, even if the Volkswagen UK website claims the dynamic chassis control is not here, not the adaptive dampers. Optionally, you can get Sport Select dampers, and these are then activated in the sports mode, and they just make the setup stiffer, but they don't vary then in the dampening. Do not buy the Sport Select suspension because it's too stiff. It's kind of useless, I think. This car does have it, and here what I would do, individual, I would maybe make the steering to sport, or then like engine sound sport and so on, but would leave the sport selection here, Sport Select suspension on normal. It's just too rough, but even more to that while driving. On the steering wheel here, capacitive buttons, it's just harder to control them while driving. They look cool, they're also backlit, but come on. Instruments, you cannot have the CarPlay map here in the middle part, but you can have the normal GPS in the middle part right here. Again, it's not flickering on your own eyes, or here also full screen. Well, and then one advantage of the Discovery Pro of this extended screen is you can have the map both right and left. If you have the Discovery Media, which still has 8-inch, and then the knobs, you can just have the map either right or left, because the CPU then can cover more. Really? But still, I would stick with the more base version, save some money and still have some knobs to turn. And cup holders, not adaptive, so your bottle might be flying all over the place. And then underneath this armrest, some more space. Well, the platform is not too bad, but it's still a short vehicle, so when I'm here in the rear, I do hit the seat here with my knees with 1.86 or 6'1". It's soft, yeah, but I can't really sit here very well. But headroom-wise, this does work actually. The seating itself is actually quite cool, and also that we have the same sporty design like in the front here, with the Caro structure, as we say in Germany, or a houndstooth is then, right? Trunk here with the folding logo that also houses the rear view camera to protect it against dirt. And then here we go, the length is about 65 centimeters or 26 inches, and the width, let's see here, you can score that meter or 40 inches. So actually well usable. Beneath here there is nothing much more actually. You can see there's the battery to access actually, and you can fold the seats already, for example, from here and then push it all the way through. Welcome to Thomas's Active Driving Lounge with the Polo GTI facelift, and we put it here to the sports mode, and the RPMs go higher. Oh, shifting also changes, shifting down earlier, shifting up later. Here also with the Sport Select dampers, that means now they are stiffer. You can also individualize that you are in a sport mode but don't have the stiff dampers. But now let's put it all to the sportiest setup possible. Rolling start, 40 kilometers an hour, German Autobahn, let's go. Woo! 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour. And this goes even faster. What is this? Whoa, it's really windy today. We have to be careful a little bit, but wow, stiff suspension in here. The Sport Select dampers, 220. Woo! Yeah, goes a little bit faster, but this is Nürburgring Nordschleife experience here almost. Woo! No lane change here, 18-inch wheels. Whoa, and considering we have super high wind speeds today, stable here also motorway. Wow, great performance from these brakes. Now it helps that this car is super light in comparison to bigger sports cars and so on. I can decelerate very, very well. These brakes here are very sensitive, so just push them very gently because it hammers all the way. Here now in the tunnel you can see of the red gauges, a little bit of ambient lighting here also in the middle console, that's also pretty neat. Here also in the sports mode, the steering goes a little bit more resistance. That's coming handy, especially soon heading out to some windy corners, testing even more sporty performance. If you drive rather slowly, by the way, or cruise control motorway, you can score some fuel economy consumption figures like 6 to 7 liters or more kilometers, 35 mpg US, 45 mpg UK. But that goes higher, of course, when you really floor that out. It is the thing, the small engines, high horsepower tune, It's never good for fuel economy. And here, yeah, even a little bit more punch. You know, that acceleration figure changed now to 6.5 seconds instead of 6.7 before the facelift. So yeah, a little bit more horsepower, a little bit more torque. And yeah, we can use that. We also have this performance monitor here in the middle part. A lot of fun. Let's go back to the sport mode. And now 80 kilometers an hour and we're already at speed. Let's go. Wow, this goes really quick, man. 160. And here now this longer bend. Wow, this is really cool. So not trying to exaggerate it, you know. And the sport suspension here, the sport select. And this really feels like being on a racetrack now. Steering wheel could have a little bit more resistance even here at higher speeds in the sport, but overall actually pretty good. And for a small car, it behaves very, very neutral and good. And the handling here at these higher speeds. Now once again, 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour. Wow, and the brakes are really phenomenal. This is really awesome. So this is one of the vehicles where you always feel in control and you exactly know what you're doing and where to put that car. It also has this electronic differential lock in the front, so the front axle. This is actually to improve accelerating out of the corners, because otherwise you might have, yeah, basically some kind of torque steer that, you know, you're being steered, although you do not want that. But let's see. Let's move it even more in a dynamic way and see how this differential is playing out. Alright, sport mode once again. Also some loose branches on the road from the recent storm here, so even more challenging conditions. Stiff suspension mode, and let's see how that one turns in the corners, and also the differential. Let's see how the acceleration out the corners. Nice. Woo! This is a lot of fun indeed. Yeah, some kind of loose rally ground here because of these branches. Next corner. Yeah, I see, of course, the front-wheel drive puts me out, understeers a little bit, but considering front-wheel drive and small vehicle, a lot of fun here still to drive it. Wow, super nice. This really feels like rally. Wow. I mean, this is the proof that you don't have to buy the most expensive car and still you can have so much fun. This is what the Polo GTI is all about, actually. Yeah, of course, rear-wheel drive would get me better out of the corners. Here, the differential lock, you know, rather controls it that I don't have too much understeer, actually. Yeah, but still, considering the price and also the size of the vehicle here, so much fun to put that small, light vehicle in every single new corner. Great. What about the Hyundai i20N? We already have one video of that. Also deliver in the driving review if you like. And of course, when you want to see the normal Polo facelift, like a Polo R line for example, tune in here.